Coach at Georgetown University. He was the U18 national team head coach and got engaged on Dallas AT&T Stadium field. So I'm pretty cool. All four of these guys are some of the best coaches I've been around, and I have had the honor to meet them through USA Football. So that's why this means a lot to me, okay? Just a quick story for me. I've been anywhere from the Big Ten to the SEC. I've been in NAIA football. I've been in Division II football, 1AA. I've had the very great opportunity to learn from a lot of people, and also really through that whole recruiting process of being through different people, learning through different eyes. So, two things I really want to touch on just real quick is our side as a college coach, and then your side, okay, your side as a prospect. So first, what we're looking for as a college coach, I'm going into school, first thing I want to know is your academics. We're going to talk to your coach. We're going to make sure we get your transcripts. The first thing I do, I don't look at the GPA, I look at absences. All right? If you can't show up at school, I know you're not going to go show up to class in college when you're on your own. So I'm going to look at absences that know you're going to be accountable. All right? And then we're going to talk to the coach, again, academics. What's his strong suit? Then we want to know what your major is, because if you're invested in your major, then we're gonna be a right fit. Because we obviously want guys that want to earn a degree. Okay. Next thing we talk about is attitude. If I can walk through a high school hallway and a counselor says, "Oh, that you're recruiting the right guy. What a great student." I've been at camps and persons come up, "Hey, you recruited this guy, so and so, and what a great player you're getting." So those are the things that we're kind of looking for. Attitude is the biggest thing, okay? Your attitude determines your altitude. If you show me your friends, I'll show you your future, okay? Those are some very important things on attitude of what we're looking for. Also, we're not going to just let anyone into our locker room. We're the gatekeepers of our locker room. We're the gatekeepers to our meeting room. I'm not going to let a turd come in to my room, okay? You bring a turd in, and probably others will end up being turds, right? So make sure we surround yourself with the right people. For your side, just real quick, because I know these guys are going to have a lot of great information. Make sure if you're really involved in that recruiting process with the school, try and get the practice. I know Allen Iverson practice, right? You're talking about practice. Hey, everyone can be at a game day. Everyone loves game day. You get 11 to 12 opportunities of those each year. Understand, if you're getting recruited, go to a practice so you understand what it's going to be like 353 days out of the year, Understand what it's going to be like for that. Make sure you ask the players, okay? The players are the most important part in this process because they've been through it and they've been coached by me. They've been coached by our head coach. So those are great resources for you. Make sure you ask players on the visit when you're there, what's it like to play at this university, okay? So as you go there, I believe the most important resource for us and the guys that recruit for us are our players. And then last, academics. Everyone talks about earning a degree, but ask what their plan is. Okay, what is their plan? How is my son going to get that degree? Everyone preaches academics, and then you ask them, "Hey, what's your plan?" And they don't have one. Well, we class check. Everyone class checks. All right. So make sure that they have a plan and how they're going to get that student athlete a degree. Those are just a few quick points, but I think these guys have more knowledge, a lot more knowledge than me. So first off, what I want to do is introduce Coach Donald Davis. He's going to talk about kind of the recruiting timeline as a high school prospect. And save your questions for after. We're going to make sure we answer all your questions at the end. Parents, if we run too long, I'll stay here as long as possible. We'll send the student athletes out, and we can stay in and get questions, answers to your questions. Okay. So first up, Coach Donald Davis.
Good morning.
First, thank you for the opportunity. One of the blessings of this camp is exactly what you're about to experience. I think it's one of the things that set so many camps that your son's going to attend. It sets this apart from all the others. Mike was absolutely right about the special opportunity you have to hear from these three gentlemen. After myself, I've been blessed to work with them all across the country. These guys are the best at what they do. So soak up everything they say. Make sure you ask great questions. What I'm going to talk about really involves everyone in the room, everyone from the youngest middle school kid in here to the parents. I want to talk to you about the process. I've been blessed the coach of the school that's had several guys play in the NFL, several guys play at the highest level of college football, but we've also had several guys play various levels of college football. We've had guys go on to college and not play at all, but still be involved in football and move on. I've got a guy that's in the front office, San Francisco 49ers, right now. He did not play college football. So make sure you guys understand that as parents. Two things I guess I caution you to. Number one, not be afraid to dream what you big. But make sure you don't pin yourself as a student athlete or your sons as parents with expectations. When they come into high school, we have no idea, those guys have no idea what guys are going to become, whether they're 5'3" or 6 foot. You don't know whether kids are going to hit a growth spurt, stop growing, all those things. So the number one thing to focus on, as Mike said, grades. Make sure you take care of business in the classroom. Because if you don't, everything else that's going to get set up here won't apply to you. You don't take care of the academic piece, be a kid that comes to school on time, every day, has a great attitude, be a guy guys want to be on the team with, be a guy in the classroom that teachers want to teach. So that's number one. As you go through the timeline, that freshman and sophomore year begins to apply. Now, you don't need to focus solely on the college piece then. Be a great kid. As a parent, allow me to be a great kid and have a good time playing football with his friends in high school. It's a special time. As you hit that sophomore year, things are going to get more serious. You're going to start, whether it's attending camps like this or college prospect camps in the summer, make sure you get out there. You're going to need to put together film, particularly if you're a varsity athlete. I guess those guys will tell you, college coaches are not going to watch like film that you're doing, couple drills in your backyard, or your 8th grade, 6th grade football film. They're not evaluating that. So don't get so fixated with it that becomes all the experience is about for you. Now, as you move on to the junior year, big pieces are going to be SAT, ACT. I always encourage my guys to take both because you're not always sure in the beginning which one you're going to perform better at. I tell them take both, get a gauge, go to a counselor, and see comparatively where their scores lie. Like, are you a little bit better or stronger in the ACT or the SAT? Which test do you feel more comfortable taking? Because that's going to help you in the college admissions world as well. Now, as you get, again, to that junior year, absolutely, film is going to be important, but getting in front of college coaches is going to be important as well. And that's where I come back to that first statement. Temper your expectations, right? Dream big, but temper your expectations. I tell my guys, you want to go to Notre Dame? Let's camp there. We're going to go to Notre Dame, we'll camp there. If those coaches don't walk outside absolutely fine, your parents, then you're probably not recruiting. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of tremendous men, and women now, you got so many girls playing football. There's a lot of tremendous people who didn't go to Notre Dame or Florida State or what have you. And there's nothing wrong. Don't shame yourself or your kid if he's not getting recruited by some of those places. As you get to that junior year, you get to the point where the recruiting stuff is starting to heat up. Ignore some of the stuff. They're going to talk to you more about some of the internet and Twitter and all that. But focus on yourself, having a great season, taking care of what you can control. Don't live on the internet where everybody else is, trying to figure out why this guy got that. And again, they're going to cover those sort of things. But focus on yourself. Become the best player you can. Become the best student you can. Become the best teammate you can. And again, as you move into that senior year, you'll have a better understanding of where your recruiting lies. And make sure you visit schools on weekends where maybe you play on Friday and you're off on a Saturday. Go get a good look at the schools that you are trying to attend. Make sure there is mutual agreement within those schools. That you like that school and they like you and it's a great fit. Your coaches will do all they're supposed to do to make sure, again, when college coaches come in to the school building, like right now, we're entering the open period where college coaches can come and visit high schools. So they're going to come. They're going to pick up transcripts. They're going to talk to counselors, as Coach said, to make sure you're a good guy, you're the type of student athlete they want to have on their campus. Make sure you cross your T's, you dot your I's, you take care of the little things. You take care of those things, you're going to be fine. And as parents, just make sure you keep track of that timeline. Has he taken the SAT? Ask those questions of the school. Does he have all the necessary classes to fill the core credits for him to not just graduate from high school, but be eligible to accept a scholarship if he's a scholarship player. And if he's not a scholarship player, parents, make sure you explore all of the other avenues, academic, financial aid. Some of them have to do with the region or the state you're from, in-state tuition. There's out-of-state schools that accept certain states as an in-state, and you can get a little bit of a tuition break, and that works. So there's many more ways to help you afford college other than just that athletic scholarship. So again, I'll be here for questions. As we finish, you're going to hear from some great guys. Thank you for the opportunity.
Up next, we have Coach Vince Vigadano. He's going to coach on talk on offer.
We're good, still going, roaring. I know it's early, but it's not that early because we have to leave practice. I always come from a unique perspective, and that's why I always value my time when it comes to ever speaking to a group for USA. I kind of silo it into two sides of it. I always silo it to the players and the parents. And one of the things I probably enjoy more than anything is I feel like I've been with USA now, I think, for about like 6 or 7 years in different capacities and working with them. And in that time, I've been with about 4 or 5 different colleges over that time, which means either one of two things. Either, I'm getting better or I just can't hold the job anymore. Those are the two things that are happening. But the reality is that I've gone from Division III to junior college to now in the Division I and 2 different places, and the perspective has changed. But I sometimes feel when I talk to parents, because of the age of your sons, that my daughter is the same age, I feel like I'm kind of going through this with you in a different sport, because my daughter plays soccer. And I sit in this chair a lot of times, and I think I know what's going on, and I have no clue what's going on half the time. Because what happens is, all sports are different in college. All sports are different. That's one thing I wanted to just kind of point out to you. There's different stipulations, different kind of structures, different kind of monetary structures at different levels for different colleges. And different levels too at different conferences. So as I go through this sometimes and I sit in the audience, I sit next to my wife, who is not in this game with me, right, but from a coaching perspective, and she'll be like, did you know that person there was offered a scholarship? And I'm like, how? They don't offer scholarships. That college doesn't even offer scholarship. So a lot of what happens nowadays comes back to the rumor mill, because what's happening now is what we're seeing is that we're controlling the narrative as individuals, right? And we're controlling what the narrative says. And it's very interesting because we can't really speak on behalf of an individual college here, just in a total perspective of it. It's interesting of what happens now is just by merely taking a picture in front of with a jersey on, in front of a wall, and all of a sudden how you can talk about how you're blessed, obviously all blessed to be able to visit a college, to be able to go ahead and have an opportunity to learn about a college. But what it says later about blessed to be offered to have an opportunity to go to a college. And everybody comes back like, what about me? When am I going to get that? When are these things going to happen? So it's realistic, and Don and I were talking about it before. It's talking to this great group of coaches. You're going to hear one thing. You're going to probably hear there's a lot of consistency of what we said. So obviously, to get to that level, you're going to need to be a great person. You're going to need to have a great transcript. You're going to need to be somebody who's a great player to be able to get to those kind of different levels. But understand that there are different levels within there. When you look at certain conferences at the highest level, right? When you look at the Notre Dames, you look at the Michigans, you look at all those places, right? You're looking at the 82 scholarships that they have that are full scholarships. They still have walk-on opportunities, they have other things that happen there. When you go ahead and start to get into different levels like the FCS, you start to see which school has 82, which school has 60, which school has 40 that they can split in half. Which conference, I should say, has 40 they can split in half. Half of it's academic, half of it's athletic money, half of it's, all that other stuff, how it works together. When you get down to Division II, who has 30, who has 20, right, so on and so forth, right? And then again, when you get to the Division III level, and it's purely the amateur level, you start to say, where are the offers happening, right? Is it an offer to come to campus? Is it an offer to play football there? Are they getting academic money that works part and parcel with that? So it really is tiered and structured. You want to educate yourself totally on it and not just get influenced, say, how many offers did I get? Because there are elite athletes out there, don't get me wrong. There are the ones, the dreamers that are seeing the dream through, right? And then, but at the end of the day, what ends up happening is when somebody's saying, I've got 20-something offers, right? They only can take one. They only can take one. That's why I've had players come to me and goes, Coach, I'm waiting to see how many more offers I get before I commit. Right? Well, you only take one. So I don't know what you're waiting for to kind of do that. I've talked to players thousands of times over. And one of the things I always give them is I tell them, I want you to imagine this college as I'm not going to be here in 4 years. I just want you to imagine that. Would you still go here? That's why I always tell players, I always tell parents, don't go to college because I brought you here. Right? I've had parents tell me in the past, you wouldn't be bringing my son here if he wasn't a great player. I'm like, you're exactly right. Because I wouldn't have a job if I wasn't looking for great players. Right? But we're not just looking for great players, we're looking for great people. Right? So that's always important. You give that consistency from every coach that you talk about. Because especially when they give you money, realize this, when they give you money to be a college football player, there's something called APR, right? Which basically means academic progress. Which means if you get money to be a college football player, you're tied in, your academic progress is tied into a number. And if that number is not above average for that institution, that institution could lose money. So they have to make great decisions on the faith that you are going to go ahead and be, not just get a scholarship and leave, not just get a scholarship and fail, but get a scholarship and be academically successful. So understand when they make those decisions are not, and some people wait, they wait to see where it happens, right? And some people, right away, they over-offer. But me, like I said, Coach Davis said before, he said to me, you know, if you're gonna say, Coach, if I commit right now, are you gonna go ahead and honor that offer? Right? Are you gonna honor that offer? And sometimes, you may. Sometimes, coaches might not. So then you really know how much that offer is, or if they're just offering you because everybody else is offering, right? Or what they're actually offering, right? So it's the key. And the other thing too is about in the recruiting process, right? Food and Talk, I know we're going to expand on this even more about what to show the coaches, but it goes back to who to contact within the coaches. Realize, right? We just talked a little about the evaluation period. NCAA has limitations for certain schools, where you can't go in and just open the talk. They don't come in and be able to talk to you, right? There's some reasons they are not able to talk to you. Only talk to your coach and get a transcript, eval, find out what that student athlete is like, right? But the key is, it's a couple things. It's getting in front of that coach, right? You'll get that film in front of that coach, and like I know Coach McCaffrey's going to talk a little bit about social media and film, but your film's going to be your entry point. Right? Your film is going to be your entry point, what's actually on film. And believe me, be honest in your film. Be honest. Be honest in your measurements. Because when they get you on campus, they'll measure you. Right? And if you all of a sudden are 6'3" on paper, but 6'1" on campus, right? Again, it goes back to two things. We're dishonest about that, or the campus is sinking in some way, shape, or form. So, I mean, either way, you gotta make good decisions, right, when it comes to that. So you have to kind of look at those things, because all of them come out. Because if you say you run 4.5, right, and they time you, and all of a sudden, maybe you run 4.6, okay. But all of a sudden you run 5.2, that's a big difference right there. And again, they're not only recruiting one player, they're recruiting all players on that film. And when they see you running at the end of the play, and they see that the other one's running, they know how fast the other player is because they've evaluated them, and you're not running as fast as them, right? Then that's your mission, right? Those 40 times are great. But what ends up happening is they want to see you on film, how fast are you in relationship to other players that they know how fast they actually are, right? And how far you outrun them. So that's a little bump up for the effort side of it too. Because they're always watching. How do you extend the play? How do you finish a play? Those things like that are key components when you're actually watching the film. But I said it's your entry point. Right? There's many camps, and again, you know, I'm glad there's so many opportunities, just like this one and beyond here, to go to this camp and that camp for the coaches. But when you're really truly zoned into where you want to go, you also want to get on that place's campus. Right? When you get on that campus, you can work with those coaches, and those coaches lead the drills very specifically. And you find out if you like them as much as they find out if they like you. And a lot of places I've been to, they coach you hard. Coach you hard, then you might say, I don't like that method of coaching. Or you say, I do like that method of coaching, right? And then you're able to kind of see it. You can experience everything that's on that campus. You can walk around that campus, right? You can go ahead and actually get a feel for every aspect of it, right? And don't get frustrated if you go to that campus and don't roll out the red carpet. Like I said before, there's certain stipulations that we're not allowed to pay for stuff, right, when you're there, right? Only on like an official visit. So a lot of times it could get kind of somewhat frustrating when you look at other kids, because I do. One of the things I've had in the past is had the opportunity to recruit in my own local area. And I'm also on a parent blog. And they're like, I've heard that so-and-so offered somebody some scholarship. And I'm like, wait, that's me. And that didn't happen. And I'm reading the letters. But what happens is, and then I get why this happened, why did that happen? But there's a lot of information that goes out there. And then you come home, and we all in this room, you're here on a Sunday, in the afternoon here because you want the best for your child, right? It's no different, right, from everybody else in the room. And we all want them to be happy. We want, when they work hard especially, we want them to be rewarded. But don't be over frustrated when you see that early, everybody's got all this stuff about offers and, visits and all these other things. And you're like, well, what it must be the coach. No, it's not only, sometimes these things happen, like when they get out there, but understand, it's truly done on that signing day, when that person puts their name on that piece of paper, and the graphic comes out from the college, and says you're in, and it's over, that's when it's like truly done, right? When they actually show up for class and actually accept those offers, that's actually truly done, right? So I appreciate your time. If anybody knows anything about soccer and how that whole thing works, feel free to tell me afterwards, but I'm still trying to figure that all out in the process. And I'll turn it over to Coach. Thank you.
Just a couple of highlights off of that. He talked about you get up 20 offers. Well, you only get 5 official visits. Okay, so make sure you're gonna take the one that counts. So and that's where you got to start doing all those things. Now, up next, I've got Coach Battaglia.
How's everybody doing? Good. I'm going to try to go a little fast here so we have time for your questions, okay? But like Coach said, I'm going to speak on social media, all right? I'm sure you guys have heard this 1,000 times, right? But there's a reason we're talking about it, because it's very, very real. What you put on social media is you. It's 100% you. A lot of times it'll be the first thing that a college coach will learn or see about you, right? So you have to understand the importance. Anybody see in the NFL draft this week, Josh Allen, his situation, right? He potentially cost himself a lot of opportunities for something that he was doing in high school, a tweet that he put out in high school that was silly or stupid at the time, right? Really not that big of a deal, but people will find it, okay? So you have to understand that that is a reflection of you and could cost you opportunities, okay? My rule on that, if you don't think, if you're curious whether I should retweet that or tweet that, think to yourself, okay, would my mom okay this? Would my dad okay this? Would my coach okay this? And if you even have to ask that question, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not worth it, right? Because you might think, okay, well, this guy said this and that was really funny, but it wasn't me, but you retweet it, it's yours. It's your opinion. That's how it looks. That's how it looks to people that evaluate your profile, right? So Twitter's very real. For parents maybe out there that don't understand, like college, Twitter and college recruiting is huge, right? We are going and trying to find out more information about players, what they have going, what other offers they have, those type of things, right? Find their film on there, okay? So it is a very important tool, okay? And Coach is going to talk to you a little bit more about contacting. Just give you a few couple tidbits on that, okay? Make your Twitter name something that has to do with you, okay? First thing is going to be known about you, right? So I don't want to, don't make your Twitter name, secure the bag. Who's that? I don't know who that is, right? When I get filmed, I hear about so-and-so who's a linebacker at Calhoun High School, right? And I type his name in and I can't find you because you made some crazy, stupid Twitter account. Or maybe it's not stupid, but it's not what I'm looking for, right? Okay? My name's Joe Battaglia, which you would think is a pretty unique name, right? I went into a store the other day and they took my profile. There was like 12 other Joe Battaglias in the system. Okay, so imagine that as a coach, right? You're going through Twitter or you're looking at Huddle, right? And there's a lot of you, right? So the harder I have to look for you, it's taken away. It's taken away time because I've got to watch thousands and thousands and thousands of film. So the more time you're taking out of my time to be able to move to the next guy, I'm starting to get mad, right? because I have to figure out which one you are, right? And then, of course, on top of that, you make your name. So my Twitter name, @coach_protected. Can't get any more simple than that, right? So make it your name, right? Or if you have a very common name, right? Maybe you're at Donald Davis, QB12, whatever it may be, right? But make it something that's related to you so I can find you. Make sense to everybody? All right. Again, I can't emphasize enough about what you put on there, right? So the same thing that you're hearing from all the other coaches, right? Put that easy to see, right? Easy to see, this is my huddle highlight, link right there, or YouTube, or whatever it is that you're using, right? Tell me what school you're at in your profile, so I know which one it is that you are, okay? All that important information. Things that you want recruiters to know about you, right off the bat, so I can see it in a hurry. That makes sense to everybody? Cool. I'm going to leave it at that. You have plenty more questions as we go, but I want to leave enough time for the other guys. So, it's social media.
Again, just a quick highlight on that. Coach, as a college coach, we're kind of creatures of habit, and most college coaches and coaches in general are resistant to social media. So the main platform they use is Twitter, not Facebook. We sure as heck don't. I don't use Snapchat. I promise you that. So make sure, and then pin your highlights. So the first thing you see should be your highlight, something like that. Okay. Up next is Coach Adam Newbauer.
Good morning. Really appreciate you guys coming here for this camp. I know it's a long day, but I really appreciate it. I'm here to talk to you guys about how to contact a coach through email. Okay, what to say in that email is very important, and then what do you do when you're on campus? Okay, Matt, stand up here for me. Ryan, come here. What's your name?
Matt Tolman.
That's my son, Brian.
6'4". Okay. Any other sports?
No.
Any other sports?
No.
National Honor Society, class-wise, do anything with that?
No.
Extracurricular activities, anything?
No.
No? You're out too much right now. What else do you do besides football?
Hang out with my friends.
Hang out with your friends? Okay. Family important? Yeah. Okay. How tall are you?
5'7".
Okay. Any other sports?
Basketball, wrestling.
Basketball. Good. What about anything else besides school-wise? No? Yeah. Guys, these two things are very important. We look for a lot of things. Sports, what do you do in the community? What do you do for academics? We're looking for that in emails. Okay? That is very important. Very important. There's a lot of parents in here that work. Okay? They hire people all the time. When they hire people, they don't want an email that's sent out, mass email to all these different companies, and you just put a brief thing on there, and you can tell it's sent out to all these different people. When you send a college coach an email, do your research. Read their bio. What other schools are they at? Try to make a connection. Try to make something that stands out in their mind. This is the kid I want. This is who I'm looking for. Okay, that is very important. Because if you don't do that, Coach said it, there's 1,000 emails we get a day. 1,000. We need something that's going to stand out in our mind to see, I really want to talk to that kid. That's very important. Brian, say that again for me. When you guys come on campus, this is the most important tool that you guys have. Shake my hand. Eye contact. Good, firm handshake. If you don't do that, I'm done recruiting you. I don't want to recruit you. That is important. That handshake means it's confident. Your eye contact means it's confident. We want that kid. Thank you. You can sit down. We want that kid. If you're not going to do that on campus, we recruit every single state in the country. Every single state. I can find someone. Coach can find someone in Navy. We don't want that kid. We want the kid that's confident. You guys see that door back there? Okay, see those doors? When I come to your high school and I don't see you hold a door for a woman or a lunch lady or a girl, I don't want you. I don't want you. I want someone that's going to be respectful, someone that's going to be confident, and someone that's going to treat each other with respect. If you're not going to do that, you better find another school. Or you better not play college football. Because you're representing Georgetown, you're representing Navy, Fordham. You're representing the high school you were at. Make sure that you treat people with respect. We look at everything when you're on campus. There's days, is this your son right here? I'm gonna call you instead of your son. I wanna know how you raised him. I wanna see why is he doing certain things? What did you guys do to raise him? That's important to us. I'm gonna call your counselor. I'm gonna call your aunt and uncle. That's how we recruit. So make sure that you guys dress appropriately. You might be the best kid out there. You might be the best kid. I come to your campus, your jeans are hanging down to your pants, you're wearing a beater to school. I don't want you. I don't want you. I'll find someone else. Make sure you're always prepared for a college coach to be at your campus. Thanks, guys.
Again, just to add on that real quick, you just talk about contact. There's really two forms of contact. The first initial contact is reaching out to a coach, and then personal contact, how you represent yourself. I thought that was really good. If you're going to send a message, an email, Twitter, DM, don't put 10 people in the same message or CC, 50 other colleges. That's the thing. And also, if you really want to get great contact, go to your high school coach and say, hey, coach, will you send this email to this university? And then it's viable. We are gonna respond quicker to the head coach's email than some scout, some parent email. Parents sometimes can get too involved, right? So just trust us, okay? Trust us with your student athlete. Okay, here's what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna take a few questions, okay? So anyone have one in mind? I'll let these guys answer. Raise your hand for any questions. Okay?
Reach out to the head coach and say, will you be attending the camp?
The question was, before you go to a camp, should you reach out to that university?
If you're talking about an on-campus camp, what you would probably do is one of two things. Usually, if you're responding and registering in advance, there's usually a flyer of some sort that has, usually somebody in the football operations side of it too, that will put you into that system. If you haven't done it or been in contact, depending on age already, there's going to be a coach for the recruiting area. So that you remember, there's going to be two different things. Now, you're not wrong by going by position coach, but obviously there's a way to get online and just get their email address. If you want to reach out and say, we'll be attending camp, in advance, that's a great way to do it, because then they're able to do the video eval first before you get there. What I would definitely suggest doing is the two things, is finding out, usually, and websites are usually pretty informative at this point, based on levels, because of the amount of people that you're allowed to have on the road at different times. But if they have something that says the New Jersey area recruiter is blank, 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 go ahead and reach out to that person directly and let them know you're going to be on campus. But also the same part, registering in advance is very helpful, because usually what happens is there's somebody from the football operations side that has a database, and then at minimum they'll be able to say this student athlete is coming from, potential student athletes coming from New Jersey, and one thing we were just talking about it yesterday is different from different areas, like say from the DC metro area to the New York tri-state area. Local areas sometimes split up counties. So if you're local to it, split up counties. So you have to kind of really be savvy to that sometimes too. So if you are going to a local place, you're going to be might be associated with somebody in a county like New Jersey. Whereas if you're going to a local place, or if you're going to somewhere at a distance like a DC area, right, the person who recruits Jersey may be one person that does the whole state. So just realize that happens too.
And just also to touch on that, director of recruiting coordinators, those people, that's their main focus. Especially now, most universities have those directors of recruiting, and obviously the position coach is huge for the area of recruiting. Next question.
Thanks for all the information, first of all. It's very informative. So we're still figuring out from college, what advice do you have for me looking for area high school? What should they be looking at? And have to help further their athletics.
I guess I have a very similar advice for the older guys that are going on to college. Fit. Fit is everything. So if you're talking about a junior or senior looking for college, think about the things that you think about. Geographic location, right? Is your kid able to go across the country, or does he or she need to be in state? Tuition, thoughts. You know, is there a situation where they're gonna help you afford it? Academic fit, do they have a major, that interests that student? Athletic fit, when I say athletic fit, and again, all of this applies to the middle school student as well, and I'm gonna flip it to there. Athletic fit, number one, does my son have an opportunity to play at that place? And the tellers are easy sometimes. What position does he play? Does that fit the systems that are run in that place? Does that school have a history of playing players with the skill set of my son? My son is a triple option quarterback, and they want a 6'4" pocket guy that can throw it, push it 60 yards down the field. Well, my son's not a fit there. Doesn't matter how good he is, that system doesn't fit it. I think those are all things to consider, academically, socially, financially, geographically. So in the middle school world, can you get them to school every day? Like, is local school and their history the best fit for you because there's a bus a block from school that can get him there every day and he's gonna be safe and get a great education? If it's not, say you live in an area where it's not, is there a private school where academically he can fit in, meaning socially he can fit, academically he can fit the bill, he's gonna feel good about going there, and he's gonna have an opportunity to move forward and play and progress in that program? I think those are probably all of the pillars, and I think they're similar. I think when you're looking for a college, I think you look at those things. When you're a middle school parent looking for a high school, I think you look at all of those things. I think you got 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5, you got a great fit. You got 1 or 2 out of 5, like, all right, it's right down the street. But I never see a kid that with the same skill set, it's $80,000, they're not gonna give us financial aid or whatever it is, or it's our local public, what have you. I think those are things you look at.
Only because I'm doing this right now, and the conversation is the same. I have a conversation with my 14-year-old, and I tell her next year she starts high school, and the minute that she gets her first program, and again, this is culture shock for most of the middle school kids, but they come out and they actually have to change classes and have programs, and they have to kind of walk around the building, and they have to get a little bit more of independence when it comes to that. I tell her, you have a full academic scholarship to college. Every day you walk in, you deduct from it if you don't do something right. I said, I don't, you earn an athletic scholarship, you have an academic one when it comes to. So every day you don't go do the right thing in class, the transcript starts the day the first program card is printed. The transcript starts the day the first program card is printed, not when you get it, not in the, because how many times have I talked to a kid and I said, how's your grades? And the answer is, they're getting better. When? After I asked you the question, you decided to get them better? Because what's your average? 85. What's your average without gym class? 72. Big difference. So one of the things is, and I would also say to every middle school student here, especially that's going into high school, how many 8th graders do we have that are going to 9th grade next year? Raise your hand. Ask yourself a question instead of what the offense is. How many advanced placement classes are you signing up for or looking into? That's the question you should be answering as a 9th grade student. How many opportunities are you going to take to challenge yourself in the classroom to show right away that I'm going to try to get, my goal is to get to AP Calculus by the time I'm a senior. That's your goal. Because, again, we could have a million opportunities here on the stage, but you take every one of them away every time you decide to go ahead and take, well, I'm just going to take this because this is easier for my course load because it's there. One thing I've learned, especially given to every level of student athlete I've ever dealt with from high school on through to college,